Unfortunately, not quite yet. We have to wait by ordinance till 7:30. Okay, we have hit the witching hour. Welcome to the city council meeting. If you'd all stand and for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then followed by a invocation by Reverend Flournoy. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Name for bringing us thus far today. We ask your blessings over the city council, starting with our mayor, his assistants, the city council members. We ask you to bless our police department, our fire department, our first responders, and most of all, remember our citizens. On tonight, we ask that every plan, every decision that we're making on tonight, that will be acceptable in your sight, Father. And when this meeting is over, give us safety getting home and let us find everything that we left just as we left it, and teach us to love one another as you have loved us. We ask this in Christ's name, amen.
Our first item this evening is we're going to be swearing in fire department personnel. Before we start though, just a real quick announcement. Been advised we have been having some false fire alarm issues this afternoon, so if you hear the alarm go off during the council meeting, don't panic. It's probably a false alarm. We will have firefighters here who can check it out for us, but just make sure you're aware of it. And with that, I will turn the floor over to Chief.
Mayor and Council, Tim Richards, Fire Chief. Just want to read a little bit here for you because March 4th was a pretty important day for the city of Bonner Springs and for the fire department. And to start off, I'd like to welcome all the family and friends that are here for our folks that are going to be sworn in tonight. March 4th marked a significant milestone for the Bonner Springs Fire Department. That was the first day our units were fully staffed with a crew of full-time employees. There are now 18 personnel spread out over 3 shifts, serving our community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We continue to have a core of dedicated part-time employees serving the department as well. This day wouldn't have been possible without the dedication of many people over a long period of time, as you're well aware. I want to take a moment to acknowledge some of the department's past fire chiefs whom I've had the pleasure of meeting over my years in the fire service. Warren Hanks, Clinton Long, and Denny Hubble. These chiefs, along with others before them, shared a vision for the department. Many communities transitioning to career staffing like we are this year must spend hundreds of thousands of dollars remodeling fire stations. They built a facility over the years that would serve the volunteers well, while also recognizing the city's growth would eventually necessitate transitioning to a career fire department. So we're very fortunate for their vision they had. This transition would not have happened without the foresight of our city council members, current and past mayors, and our city manager. They recognized the need for this transition and began planning for it several years ago. In closing, I want to thank the many volunteer fire personnel who served this community since 1903. Their commitment and dedication built the foundation that we stand on today. As we swear in our new employees, let this be in honor of all the past volunteers who have served this community. And we're going to swear in our 3 captains first. So Captain Dave Osmus, Chris Chindlin, and Brendan Crane. Come on up.
Discharge the duties as a public official of the city of Bonner Springs, Kansas. So help me God.
And with our firefighters, there will be a few more. Do you want them to line up this way, or let's line you up this way, facing that way? We'll be good. There's a few that weren't able to make it tonight, but I'm going to read everyone's name just so it's part of the record. And the ones that aren't here tonight, we're going to send them up and have Chris do a swearing in our office over the next week or two. Brian Christopher, Bryce Johnson, Angel Leone, Mason McGee, Connor Quick, Andrew Runberg, Gordon Vicker, Caleb Michael, and David Miller. Turn it on.
And I'd like to just real quickly thank all the fire personnel that are here this evening. Welcome aboard. Yes, for quite a few years now, the elected officials, along with staff, have worked hard to move themselves and transition themselves to a full-time fire department. It started out with equipment and the proper fire and having a proper firehouse, a station. This is the last step, is finally investing in the actual personnel. So thank you and welcome aboard. unless Chief has something else, we will go ahead and continue to move forward then. We have citizens' concerns about items not on tonight's agenda. This is an opportunity for citizens to speak to their council on any items that are not on tonight's agenda. Is there anybody who would like to address the council? Step forward to the mic. And state your name and address.
Mayor Tim Whittem from the City of Edwardsville Fire Chief. I just want to commend the council tonight for the actions taken of going forward with the full-time fire department and EMS service. As the Chief of Edwardsville, I've had the honor of working with this council and the fire department over the years for the foresight they have had. This has been a long time coming. I have worked with several of the volunteer chiefs and volunteer firefighters. I look forward to the future of both of our services and cities, as well with this Tri-City contract of the automatic aid and mutual aid. So I just come out tonight to support the city and the endeavors going forward and look forward to our relationship.
Thank you, Chief. And real quickly, I'll just mention to you that we're glad that we can finally hold up our end of the bargain, because I know Edwardsville Fire Department for years has seemed to be a little bit more, have to be more responsive to us than we've had towards you. So we are glad that we're going to be able to reach out and give you some of that same support.
On my side, it was never a concern because I always had faith that the city of Bonner Springs had stood up on their side to support us, even though it seemed lopsided to some. We always had support from the Bonner Springs community when we needed it.
Well, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who would like to address the council this evening? Seeing none, we will move forward. And the next item would be the consent agenda. This is a list of items that can be voted on with one vote. It includes the minutes of the February 26th City Council meeting, claims for city operations, the 2023 fourth quarter financial reports, a massage therapy license renewal for Jing Zhang, and appointments to boards and commissions. Is there anything the staff would wish to poll? Citizens, is there anything to be polled? Council, anything needing to be polled that you wish to have polled? Seeing none, I would accept a motion.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion by Mr. Reeves and a second by Mr. Shannon. If the clerk will call roll.
Wood?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Gibb?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Long? Yes. Gurley?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
And then on to regular business, new business. We have the 2024 street program. This is strictly an informational only presentation. And I assume, Mr. Beats, you will be providing us.
I am. Thank you. Matt Beats, Deputy Director of Public Works. Tonight, I'm basically bringing forward our list of streets that we're planning on doing this year. It is just an informational update kind of the streets that we're planning on doing our overlay with. I will comment that as I was sitting back here, I noticed I have one error on my map. It actually says, in the green, it says a 3-inch overlay. That's actually a 2-inch overlay. But other than that, everything else was pretty accurate for what we have estimated. And our plan is we'll send it out for bid here in the coming weeks and bring back to you guys the, hopefully in a successful bidder's recommendation.
And I'll give the community a chance to ask any questions if they'd like. Seeing none, there's no motion, but we're open for discussion. We'll start down there with you, Mr. Shannon.
Matt, thank you. I know this can be a difficult decision to make sometimes, but you've been right on everything I feel, and it's a testament to you and the men you have working with you.
Thank you.
So tell everybody congratulations.
Thank you.
Did I
I miss it? Does this say how many lane miles this is?
Well, you probably did. Don't think I actually have calculated that yet.
You have a guesstimate?
It's a little calculation involved in that.
Okay.
A lot of these streets that we have in here, like, as you can see, I'm like doing all of Lay Valley's subdivision. We're trying to just basically hit all that at the same time. It'll help so much with the construction process of doing that, all the notifications and getting people to move cars and all that. So it helps when, if I'm not having to go back to that neighborhood like this year and again next year and the year after or something. So we kind of focused all of that on that. The Martin Neck piece over here by Camp Nash, that should be the final of the 3 phases. So we should now have that actually wrapped up all the way out to, almost out to K32. It stops there at Apex entrance. And then like 138th Street, our crews have been spending a lot of time out there trying to patch that back in and everything. So it's really to a point we need to do another overlay. I believe it was 2011, I think, was that what we said? Since the last time we overlaid 138th
Can
streets.
138th be done without closing it completely?
Sort of. It'll be difficult. It'll be closed like during construction, as it'll be kind of a moving closed area. So, there'll be a first crew that comes in and will mill up the street, they'll grind it down, and then there'll be another crew that come in a few days later usually and asphalt it. So,
Yeah, it's dangerous enough with it.
yeah, it is. It's pretty narrow. It'd be kind of hard. I mean, they'll flag around them if there's people that come down through it, but we will put like road closed signs at both ends.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for everything you do. I see you out there all the time, and it's peaceful. And thank you.
Matt, approximately how long do you think this will take?
I wouldn't say it'd be any longer than any of the other projects we've done. Once we get started on it, month. Don't hold me to that, but probably 30 days.
Weather is always.
Yeah, weather's a deal, and it's usually getting it on their schedule. So once we come back to you and you approve, and we start moving forward with that, we just need to get into their schedule to get it started on it. And then, I mean, it's probably, I'd say like a little over a week worth of milling and then a couple of weeks of probably asphalt overlaying on it. So give us a month probably.
I think for the most part, the roads in Bonner are in decent shape,
They're getting a lot better.
right?
Yeah,
Kudos to you guys.
thank you. And this program's really helping.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks for what you're doing.
Sure.
Thank you for all you do. I had a question from, I'm sure you've heard from him, Jim Miller, Tiblo Trot. Is 138th the other side being done next year?
That one, it should not affect we don't think it's going to affect Tibolo
This
Days
year.
this year.
Right,
Most likely 2024,
okay,
it will be.
okay,
25.
okay,
Yeah, I'm still thank you.
okay. I will let him know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sandra?
No questions, thank you.
Nothing else to add here. Thank you.
Great.
Just one quick question. I noticed we're a couple thousand over what you had budgeted for it. Do we have funds in other areas we'll be able to draw if the estimate comes in?
Hopefully my number's a little high.
We're hoping. Yeah, we can always hope.
If
But we
it's
do
not-
have it covered.
And if it does in fact come over, I mean, we always have the right to, the way our contract's written, we can pull like up to 25% out of it, so we can adjust it that way.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody else have any additional questions, concerns? If not, thank you very much, Matt. And we will move forward. Item number 2, the final plat, FP 0124 for Old Dominion. Staff?
Good evening, Mayor, council members, Mark Lee, Community Development Director. This evening, we have in front of you, finally, the final plat for Old Dominion Freight Lines. I think I've kind of kept you guys updated a little bit, and it's also within the report and whatnot, but they were having some right-of-way exchange issues with KDOT and things like that. They worked through those issues. Finally, we're able to prepare a final plat that was in a little bit different configuration from the preliminary plat that was originally proposed and approved. The only change was they combined 3 of the lots into one for the next item that's on your agenda. So there used to be 10 individual lots, and now there is 7. So that was the only change. The final plat, from you guys' standpoint, is for the acceptance of utility easements and public right-of-way. None of that has changed, and all of that remains the same. And that's why it's before you this evening.
Thank you. Staff need to add anything additional? If not, I'll ask any citizens wish to speak on this item at all? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the dedication of easements and right-of-ways as shown on the final plat of Old Dominion Freight Lines, Bonner Springs.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mr. Shannon and a second by Ms. Blanks. We'll start down here with you, Mr. Reeves. Any questions, concerns, comments?
Nothing here.
Ms. Long?
No questions. No questions.
Mr. McMahon?
I don't have any questions, but just, you know, that facility just seems to be fluid, right? You know, as a business, and I'm sure you're always going to find somebody complain about a truck or something.
We haven't had too many issues. I think the other weekend, we might have had some trucks using Kansas Avenue and 129th Street that may become an issue that we'll have to kind of discuss that with Old Dominion. That 129th Street's not really a truck route for them to use on a daily basis, so.
Sure.
We'll have to have some discussions with them, but they have seemed to not make a big as imprint as maybe I would think, but regardless.
They're under the radar for the most part.
Ms. Wood?
I cannot believe how much you have to do just to get, oh, thank you. Like the traffic impact and the storm management. I was worried until she explained to me how it's all going to work out on the traffic impact and everything. And we're not going to get flooded. The things you have to do, the level after level. Thank you.
Nothing from you?
Nothing.
Mark, I really like number 3. And I know that, I'm certainly assuming that you had a lot to do with it. And just wanted to tell you thanks, because this is a big thing for our community. And oh, you had to look what number 3 is?
I did. I had to remind myself. I'm like, wait, what is number 3?
Never mind, I'll take it back. Yeah. No, I do appreciate it, and this is a big addition and to our community. So again, thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, go ahead, Mr. Reeves.
One, to kind of reiterate just a little bit on the one about the trucks using Kansas Avenue. Aren't they deep enough pavement and so forth to withstand those trucks?
So I'm not sure about 129th Street, and I think that was, Matt had either received a complaint or something over the weekend, and he sent me an email, and we haven't really talked about it today, but yeah, from my understanding, I think
I would hope
it's.
they already are, because it goes right to the,
So Kansas, I would think Kansas is, because of, at least to a certain extent with Walmart being there, they
Yeah,
have trucks in
that's
general.
what I thought
but-
too. And I've seen those trucks, so and it hasn't been that many of them, so I really wasn't too worried about it.
We'll look into it and verify, see what we
Thank
need to do. Sure.
Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the vote.
Reeves?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Gurley?
Yes.
Kip?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
On to item number 3, rezoning BSRZ-02-23 for the Quick Trip Corporation. Before we ask for staff presentation, this would be a time, since it's a quasi-judicial item, it was had a public hearing at the Planning Commission. We're asking if there's anybody who needs to dissolve, declare, there we go, thank you. Declare any ex parte communications or such. I will start out, no ex parte communications, but I believe in transparency, and I want everybody to know that my son-in-law is a real estate manager for Quick Trip Corporation. I do not, my wife and I, neither one of us receive any financial assistance from him or my daughter, but I want to make sure that that is out there on the public record, as well as we have intentionally avoided any conversation on this particular project. Does anybody else have anything to disclose?
Yes, I'd like to also ex parte communication on the open house that they had. There were, I'm going to say 7 or 8 people from Bonner's, from Public Works, my being on council and stuff, and the vice president of Old Dominion came over our table, and he was talking about a lot of stuff. And we were, telling him how nice this looked and everything like that. And he said, oh, yeah, and he said, it's really going to be great when that corner, and he mentioned Casey's. I think that's what he mentioned to all of us, and we all just kind of sat there and looked at one another because there was about 5 or 6 of us from the city. We just kind of went. But I did want to put that out there, and I have not talked to anybody nor have done anything about that at all. That was just what he said. We offered no other further communication.
Mr. Mayor, I've had some information exchange on social media. I've offered no opinions, just the topic did come up, so.
Anyone else? If none, then we'll turn it over to staff for a presentation.
Guess I'm not the only one that talked to Quick Trip. Actually, I am the only one, it sounds like. So regardless, we are here this evening to rezone that parcel that I did just speak about, where they took the 3 lots in Old Dominion and combined them into one. They were having discussions with Quick Trip as they moved through their process, and I was as well. Quick Trip has accomplished most of their tasks. They chose to hold off on a final stormwater management report until everything was approved. They didn't want to make that investment in there yet. We did get a traffic impact study, though, done and completed and reviewed and approved through KDOT as well as our city engineer. So that step has been done. They did do a preliminary stormwater report, and our engineer our engineer gave them blessing to move forward. So that is one of the stipulations that they have to do. I think there's probably a couple of them in there. Like I said, the traffic impact study, though, has been completed and approved through KDOT and the city engineer. We're waiting for the stormwater management to be finalized, and other than that, it is ready to move forward as a rezoning. I guess I will say, in general, all of that frontage was left as agricultural at the time. It was A1 zoning. That's since changed with the new UDO, and it's called RR. It's a rural residential. It's mainly the same thing, but that whole area is still zoned as RR. This will change that one lot to general commercial. Excuse me.
Thank you, staff. Anything else by staff to add? Since this had a public hearing at the planning commission level, there will not be any additional commentary by public or the applicant, other than if there are questions by council. Is a representative?
There is a representative. Terry Limbach is here from Quick Trip.
Okay. And so that way, if you do have some concerns or questions, clarification, or anything, she can answer those questions for you. So with that, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve rezoning for 300 South 129th Street, Lot 7 of the Old Dominion Freight Line, Bonner Springs, final plat from RR Rural Residential to GC General Commercial.
A second.
You have a motion from Ms. Gurley and a second by Mr. McMahon. And we'll go ahead and we'll start down on this end with you, Mr. Reeves.
Yes, one question. Do we know, or is it appropriate to know, whether Quick Trip is going to keep their other store north?
They are choosing to keep 2 locations open in Bonner Springs to better serve our residents and as well as those traveling the highway system.
That's all I've got, thank you.
That was a question that came up at Planning Commission as well, and I had verified that when I first started talking to them.
Well, I hadn't heard, so
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
That's good. Yep.
No questions, thank you.
Is the existing one getting updates? All right, thank you.
Yeah, well, first of all, congratulations, right? A second, 2 stores in one town, Bonner Springs. How about that? We didn't see that coming, did we? That's a good sign of growth for our area. I'm curious, so on this side, will you guys be able to facilitate bigger trucks, like for diesel and stuff like that? Is that going to capture
You want
more?
to speak to that, or you want me to? It's either way. I'll let Tara speak to that. So
Please step up to the mic.
Yes, this new location would service regular auto diesel as well as truck diesel, where the
Okay.
other location does not.
So
service
they have
trucks.
like a separate island?
A separate canopy completely.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. So it's maybe twice the size, the footprint, as the one that's currently
I
north
don't
of
want to speak and guarantee it. I want to say the store up to the north is slightly over 3,000. I want to say the newer models are right over 5,000,
Right,
about 5,300, I believe, but don't quote me.
okay.
So not quite double, but hopefully,
Site-wise, it will take up some
Yeah.
more space with
but
parking and
footing,
the
square
additional
footage
fuel.
of
Well, I think
buildings.
this is great. With all the activity that goes on at the amphitheater and trying to get into the Quick Trip, right now we have one on this side of the highway,
Yeah,
which is good. Good for you guys. Generates more taxes for us, more revenue for you guys, right? I just want to say, like, staff-wise, I've been to Atlanta, Georgia. You guys have Quick Trips, right? I think you guys are, from what I could tell, it looks like in Leeds, Alabama, they were going to build one there, right? 'Cause, outside of Talladega. And I thought, wow, these guys are really sprawling out. Staff is always professional, right? For the most part, the stores are clean. My experiences are really good with Quick Trips, and I just want to say congratulations. I'm glad you guys are investing
well, thank you.
in our town. Yeah, absolutely.
We're excited to bring a second store to Bonner Springs, and we love being a community partner, and hope to be a great neighbor moving forward. And
And in addition to that, and I'll conclude, Jeff, the manager of Sherwin-Williams, is excited about having.
Okay.
And there's a Sherwin-Williams that will be right down the road, but
well,
anyway,
good, I'm glad.
I digress.
Thank you.
Ms. Woods?
No, I think all questions have been dealt with.
I was just looking at the drawing. Mark, do you have the aerial with the overlay?
As in,
It's the,
probably don't, but I have some site plans.
the label is Quick Trip 0285.
I do have, yeah.
I'm just trying to understand a little bit about what I'm looking at. I see the footprint of the building surrounded by parking spaces, and then I'm assuming to the south are the diesel pumps,
Yes.
and then.
Sorry, that
to
was
the
kind of loud.
north,
The north is the automobile fueling.
eight pump stations roughly, and then what's just to the north of that? I'm trying to determine what those little indicators are.
There's some additional parking. There's the store itself, and then on the south side would be the diesel pumps for
Just on the north
trucks.
side of the passenger vehicle pumps, there are 5 little
Oh,
call-outs, but I can't, there's no key, so we're making it up as we look at it.
Say the representative from Quick
It
Trip
may
might be
be-
able to assist us here a little bit.
Where are we talking about?
it's this.
These right here,
Oh, those are our underground tanks.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So
I
that's
think
where the
those-
gas is
Oh,
stored.
those are the tanks.
Yeah,
Just right there in the front.
You're right.
Along the, yeah, I
Yep.
can barely
Yeah.
see it on my paper, sorry, but yeah.
yeah, those will be underground.
Perfect, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to figure out what was what. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the,
done.
Good question.
I can see it there.
No questions, thank you.
Is there,
Just a big
is there a
thank you.
date? I'm sorry, I didn't
No,
mean.
you're fine, you're fine. Let Mr. Shannon go, and then we'll get back to you.
Well, are you ready?
I'm so
Just a big thank you for choosing Bonner. That means so much to us, but it's great having quality again in a quality city. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. McMahon.
Generally speaking, these don't take very long to build, right? So with not too many hurdles to clear, is there an expectancy date to start with this? A target date?
She's got to get through our processes.
Well, she does.
Which most of them are done, so we'll get the stormwater report. I'd imagine they probably have it pretty much wrapped up by now, get it submitted, reviewed, and then they're ready for building permit, really. Is kind of, once we get,
Okay.
Well, yeah.
once we get the
I
signatures.
guess, three.
We get the signatures on the plat and all that, and make it official, and then, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. For now, at least for a month or so, you'll have to go to the north one.
Thanks, Mark.
I have another question. Besides the fuel pumps for the trucks, is there any new updates to Quick Trips, like amenities, let's say, that this one will have that the existing one doesn't?
And then don't wander off.
We really try to provide the same amenities amongst all of our stores, whether they're, 20 years old or brand new. So the convenience factor, yes, they'll both have the kitchen, but just the overall square footage. Sometimes the larger stores, we can have, say, more variety of drinks or a few more different types of shelves of food that we can't have in some of the smaller square foot store. But as far as amenities, no, I mean, we try to always provide the top of the line, keep things clean, especially if people are just coming to use the restroom and stopping in and don't need to buy anything. And the customer service piece everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you had said that the existing one will get remodeled in a few years.
Honestly, I can't promise that, but we are going back through some of the stores that we're not, say, completely tearing down and rebuilding, like you see us do kind of all around town. But say the bathrooms might need updating. So we're really trying to assess some of the older stores and how we can bring kind of a newer look to them without completely tearing them down.
Okay. I just want to make sure that one doesn't become the ugly stepchild.
Yeah.
Kind of gets, put to the side. Not saying that's going to happen or what
Yeah.
Quick Trip does. I just want to make sure, since we have this brand new shiny one right down the road,
Yep.
is its sister. So I just want to
Definitely.
make sure.
I mean, we're constantly going through like project crews, so like repainting and restriping and going through to make sure that some of those stores are getting touched up and getting that fresh coat of paint and new kitchen stuff.
Okay.
Anything that it's new and updated. So we test a lot of things as well, but anything that rolls out to all the other stores, all the old stores, we'll get them as well.
Okay, cool.
So,
Again, thank you for investing in Bonner.
yes,
Lastly, the safe zones,
the safe place.
safe place.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I commend you guys for doing that. Do you?
It's a wonderful
That's
program.
Right, and so you establish a program. Can you give us a little, I'm sure that's working because you continue to do it. We don't necessarily need numbers, but do you have some good stories that you can share?
I worked in the stores for 11 of my 12 years with Quick Trip. I just recently switched over to store development, so I'm more used to being in a store. And in my 11 years, I came across 6 instances where children came in. So Safe Place, for anyone that doesn't know what it is, it's for 21 and younger, so adolescent into young adulthood. If they come in, if they're in a bad situation, whether it be, marital or parent, child, they can come there. We get in contact with a licensed professional through Safe Place. They come out, they get the child, go and have them safely protected until they can find resolution from the current harm or fear. So,
And then I might ask a question. I don't know for sure who wants to answer it. I did notice that KDOT was not happy with that north entrance off of Speaker Road, and they wanted it around the corner on 129th. Was there an issue besides, were they afraid a truck or two might get trying to turn in, or were they worried about queuing?
That's what it was, queuing, really. There
So-
wasn't enough room for people to maneuver in and out of that
Okay,
intersection.
and we won't have that issue, you don't believe, with 129th?
No, they
No.
totally, that was kind of, I don't want to say part of the issue that Quick Trip had, but that was something that they thought they were going to be able to get, was that just right in off of off a Speaker, actually. And, state shut them down and said, no, there won't be anything that enters it beyond Old Dominion or Quick Trip.
So you gotta turn that corner onto 129th, and then you can go into it there. Okay. Anybody else have any additional questions, comments, concerns?
One last comment from community before you guys even we started hearing anything about the new store. I've heard lots of people comment on how nice the other store looked, how nice the lawn always looked midsummer when everything's dry. Keep that up.
we will. Thank you.
Anything else from anyone? Seeing none, I will ask for the clerk to call the vote.
Shannon?
Yes.
Kip?
Yes.
Gurley?
Yes.
Wood? Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Blanks? Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Reeves?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. I would tell you welcome, but you've already been here. So, but thank you for reinvesting, continuing to invest in our communities. So With that, we've got, the last item is an executive session. How long do you believe we'll need? 8:40. So if anybody would like to do the motion as stated there?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss matters pursuant to the exception for consultation with an attorney, KSA 75-4319B2. Regular session will resume at 8:40 PM.
Second.
So we have a motion by Ms. Gurley and a second by Mr. Shannon. We'll just do a quick voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? According to the chair says the ayes have it, so. Should we wait for Mr. Reeves to return, or get the meeting going? I'm gonna go pretty quick. Huh? I said, I'm just gonna go pretty quick. We'll be out of here by the time he. Okay, we're back, so I'll entertain a motion to come back out of executive session.
So move.
Read it like it says there.
Make a motion to, make a motion to return to regular session at 8:59 PM.
With no action taken.
With no action taken. Thank you, Tom.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion by Mr. Shannon, a second by Ms. Long. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? According to the chair, in my opinion, the ayes have it, so. With that, we will move on to reports. City manager.
Just want to acknowledge, did send out a budget schedule for our next upcoming fiscal year, 2025. So that is out. If anybody has any questions about that, please let me know. There's still time to kind of change things, but we are looking at trying to have a bit of a kickoff to that process with our year-end review, and then going through some annual plans with departments in what would be the third Monday in April the 15th. So that would be an in-between council meeting week. So again, that would be a special meeting, and then everything else is kind of structured similarly to how we've do it in the past, with a lot of it being met with deadlines by the state. And then I do want to just note, did have a brief update in the city manager report about the water meter program and the replacement process. So that is going on. I think that's going very well from what I see and what I've hear. I do want to acknowledge we are, and this is going across everywhere, the mail is somewhat slow. So we are receiving bills after due dates. In those instances, we are working with folks just to try to remedy that. We're seeing 2-3 week delays in terms of postage going out and actually getting to destinations. So again, this isn't unique to us, but if there are problems like that, please reach out to the finance department or utility billing, and we can get that sorted out. That is all I have this evening.
You said the budget dates went out today?
I sent out an email to everybody. I will make sure that you are on it, Danny.
So when are the meetings going to be in April?
It would be the 15th would be the first meeting.
And then the 29th?
The 20, our normal council meeting dates. This would just be the only special meeting date that we would be looking at
Like
having.
on the 22nd?
On the 15th.
Oh, on the 15th? Okay.
So we have regular council here, regular council.
And Chris, I can get a print off for you as well. And like I said, I sent this out earlier today.
205, Stephanie, is when I received it.
So you'll have regular council on Monday, budget on Monday, regular council on Monday.
Okay, so I don't know why I have those. City council and city council.
So again, that April 15th date is the one that, the rest of those dates that are not highlighted, those are internal. Those are just for department heads to kind of work through, and myself. We'll have the May 13th, that is our audit review for 2023. Again, we kind of get into some internal parts of that. We are looking to June 10th to have a budget workshop where we kind of go through actuals and year-to-dates and kind of preparation of seeing where, again, revenues are coming in at. On the 15th, we do receive the valuations from the counties
time on the 15th?
We don't know yet.
Okay, sorry. Okay. I'll just tentatively put it down. Thank you.
That's it then? Okay. Okay, on to the council reports. Mr. Shannon. You can stop laughing long enough.
The hay at the off-ramp of K7 to Front Street, is that
Permanent.
state property and their responsibility, or?
Yeah, we actually moved it, Public Works, moved it after it tipped over a vehicle, tipped off a vehicle. We did notify the state's aware of it, they, are working through other priorities, is maybe the way to say it, but they are aware of it and intend to clean it up. I don't have
I
a
think it took
timeframe.
out one of our signs too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they would be there, so there's a couple of, I think there's at least one or two that got knocked there. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't bring your cattle up to feed on it.
Yeah, try not to. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Gibb?
Had a very energetic report from my daughters on the penguin plunge. They had a ball. Them and three of their friends jumped in. They said the mayor looked very good in that outfit.
Yes.
I was unable to attend. And also congratulations to Justine. I saw she got another thing. Seems like Parks and Rec is humming along. That's all I have.
Ms. Gurley? Mr. McMahon?
Yeah, I want to say, I want to thank Matt for the extended tour for Mr. Shannon and Emily and I. We were the last ones to go through the plan. He took us everywhere. We almost checked out closets. It was close. Thanks, Matt. That was, you had time to explain everything. I know it was a small group. Thanks for making an exception to bring us in so late, and that means a lot to us. I got a lot out of it, right? And I know Roger did, and Emily's going to speak in a moment. So we appreciate you and the professionalism of everybody, you, Frank, and everyone else, right? It's off the charts. You got good equipment. You got good equipment coming in, so that's good, right? And it reflects. And thanks for everything that you do. Appreciate you, man.
Ms. Mikes?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for taking the plunge on Saturday. We do not have numbers yet. There's still time to donate moving through this week. So Happy Hearts will total up numbers late this week, and we'll make an announcement next week. But we're hopeful that we'll hit our at least about $20,000 in donations. So thank you for that, and thank you, the Kip family, for participating. I know Cassandra came out.
Just me, he went to the basketball game.
Well, his daughters did, and he wrote the check, so.
Sorry, I had to do it.
I'll take it. So that was great, and thank you to, Bonner Fire Department was out there. 2 guys wearing wetsuits, out in the water just for safety. Bonner PD participated in the plunge. Wyco Sheriff's Office was there, and Lake of the Forest is, great as always. And then, thank you to Matt for the tour, on Friday of the existing building and the new building. I thought the Burns and McDonald team was great. You and your guys are great. It's insane of what we're working with now and what the needs are moving forward. I'm still wrapping my head around that. So just thank you for what you guys do, and I think we're all super excited to see how it all turns out. And then I've already talked to Sean about 2 months ago. I will not be here on the 25th, so I just wanted to say that. I will be on vacation. So hold it down for me. The Bahamas. Yes, so I'm very excited. So I'm sad to miss my first meeting, but I just wanted everyone to know, if when you don't see me, that's why I won't be here. I know. Okay, noted. I'll take a wish list
See what happens when the
forward.
council members get a raise this last year?
Yes, that is exactly what is paying for it.
You take it or, yeah.
With my drink in my hand. So thank you, everybody, for your support.
As long?
I don't have anything tonight.
Okay.
Nothing new here, thank you.
I'll keep it real short. Wasn't real busy. You saw there was one or two things I had to do. Yes, I do appreciate the plunge. I enjoyed myself. It was a good time, and I wanted to thank all the emergency personnel that was there, especially those who were ready for certain individuals if they didn't make it back out of the water to rescue us. So it was great to have them there. And thank you, Emily, for arranging this activity.
And thank you, Chris. Sorry, Chris
No, you're fine.
abruptly helped me with registration, and I could not have got the event started without her, so shout out, Chris.
I just want to make sure that people understand that the funds that are collected go to a very worthy organization that really helps those with challenges really be part of and socialize and be part of our community. And they are an important part of our community. So Happy Hearts working, I appreciate their efforts in everything they do in our community. Also, I did understand that, I'm just putting the council on notice that there's been some rumbling amongst the staffs that they may be wanting to challenge us next year. So a few of you better get some suits ready to jump in that water next year. They may be throwing, the staff may be throwing down against us, so.
Yeah. I'll be clapping for you guys real hard.
If there is nothing else by anyone, I will accept a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn the city council meeting at 9:11 p.m.
We have a motion by Ms. Blanks and a second by Mr. Shannon. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Meeting adjourned. I wait all night just to do that. So.
I have all kinds of problems.